Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is enjoying their day. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. GH spoilers. Brooklyn devastates Chase when she nixes their adoption plans. General Hospital spoilers indicate that Brooklyn Quartermain Amanda Seton is still reeling from the news that Gio Palmieri Giovanni Mazza is her son. Brooklyn has been planning to adopt a child with husband Harrison Chase, Josh Swickard, for some time now, as Chase recently learned that he is infertile. Now that Brooklyn knows that Gio is her son, and that her mother, Lois Carullo, Rena Sofer, lied to her about the circumstances of Gio's adoption, Brooklyn may feel differently about adopting a child. Harrison Chase gives Brooklyn Quartermain some time. Now that Brooklyn is still processing the fact that Gio is her son, Chase would surely give her some time before he brings adopting their own child back up. Brooklyn is not even thinking about this right now, as she has been lied to for years about who Gio really is. Although Chase wants a child with his wife, he would have to make sure to wait until Brooklyn is ready. Harrison Chase brings up adoption again. Once things cool off, Chase would approach Brooklyn about starting the adoption process. At first, Brooklyn might tell him that she still is not ready and needs time. Chase would completely understand and tell Brooklyn to take all the time that she needs to process this. Brooklyn is still hoping that Gio will come around to her someday and will never stop trying to win him over. Brooklyn Quartermain has come to a decision. Eventually, Brooklyn would come to the decision that she no longer wants to adopt. Too much has happened with Gio, and she doesn't want another person to go through what she went through, wondering where her baby is and how the baby is. Brooklyn would be forced to face the difficult task of telling her husband that adoption is now out of the question for her. Brooklyn Quartermain breaks the truth to Harrison Chase. Brooklyn would tell Chase how she feels about adoption now, and how adopting a baby is no longer in the cards for her. This would devastate him, as he has been looking forward to having a child with Brooklyn, and has been anxious to get the process started. This would definitely hit Chase hard, and he will understand why Brooklyn has changed her mind, but it would still devastate him to no end. Brooklyn Quartermain and Harrison Chase have a rough road ahead. Brooklyn and Chase may now have different visions for their future. There would no doubt be complications. Chase would still love Brooklyn, but be unsure how to move forward with his marriage. Brooklyn, meanwhile, may grow closer to Dante Falconeri, Dominique Zumpruni, as they bond over having a son together. Can Brooklyn and Chase beat the odds? What do you think? What do you think? Do you think Brooklyn will change her mind about adopting a child? Will Brooklyn tell Chase of her decision? Will Brooklyn and Chase's marriage survive now that Brooklyn has changed her mind about adoption? Harrison Chase gives Brooklyn Quartermain some time love on pause in Port Charles. General Hospital has seen its share of passionate love stories, complicated heartbreaks, and unexpected second chances, but few have captured hearts quite like the slow-burning, emotionally charged romance between Harrison Chase and Brooklyn Quartermain. From their playful beginnings to shared tragedy, from awkward tension to undeniable chemistry, this couple has ridden the roller coaster of love with every twist and turn imaginable. But now, in a heart-wrenching twist that's left fans reeling, Chase is stepping back, giving Brooklyn some time, and possibly risking it all. What led to this shocking decision? What's next for Port Charles' most promising couple? And will space truly help them heal or only drive them further apart? Let's break it down in a story of vulnerability, trust, and the scariest word in love: wait. The pressure builds, love, careers, and a Quartermain name. To the outside world, Brooklyn Quartermain seems to have it all: beauty, brains, talent, and that iconic Quartermain last name. But inside, she's been struggling with a deep identity crisis. Ever since the moment she faked a pregnancy to protect Maxie's baby from Peter August, Brooklyn has been wrestling with guilt, loyalty, and a lingering sense of unworthiness. Her relationship with Chase has often been the one thing that felt solid. He was there when she broke down. He held her through the hard moments, He became a father figure to Bailey when they were both pretending, and then even when they weren't. But as life moved on and Bailey went back to Maxie, and as the career demands at Deception began weighing heavily, Brook Lynn felt pulled in too many directions. "I don't even know who I am anymore," she confessed to her grandmother Lois in a recent scene. "Every day I feel like I'm pretending, even with Chase." Chase's stand, "Love can't survive on uncertainty alone." For Harrison Chase, a man of duty, honor, and emotional clarity, the uncertainty surrounding Brook Lynn has started to take its toll. Though he's tried to be patient, tried to understand her commitment issues and family baggage, he's reached a point where he needs more. More honesty, more intention, more of her without walls. "I love you, Brook Lynn," he told her in the Quartermain kitchen, his voice raw with emotion. "But I can't keep guessing where I stand. I don't want to be a placeholder in your life while you figure it all out." Brook Lynn, stunned, didn't respond right away. That silence, it said everything. And so Chase made the hardest choice of all. He stepped back. "The time you need," he said quietly. "And if you decide I'm someone you can build a future with, then come find me. I'll be here. But I'm done waiting in the shadows." Quartermain chaos, the family weighs in. As always in Port Charles, nothing stays quiet for long, especially when you're a Quartermain. Ned, still in a fog between music and memory, offered a surprisingly lucid take on the breakup. "Sometimes giving someone space is the best love song you can write," he told Brook Lynn softly, "but only if you plan to play it for them again." Lois, fierce and full of New York fire, was less forgiving. "Girl, are you kidding me? Chase is a good man. He's not some stand-in until you get your act together. You don't find a guy like that twice." Olivia sided with Lois. Monica offered silent support. But despite their judgments, Brook Lynn stood firm. She didn't want to make another decision out of pressure or fear. "I love him, but I need to figure out how to love me first." Deception, disappointment, and distraction. While her heart is breaking, Brook Lynn has thrown herself into her work at Deception, trying to distract herself from the hole Chase's absence has left. Her recent project, a high-profile marketing launch, hit a snag when new influencer Blaze canceled last minute due to scheduling conflicts. That left Brook Lynn scrambling, dealing with both business chaos and personal grief. Still, she pushed through, determined to prove she could stand on her own. But viewers saw what the boardroom didn't. The shaking hands, the lingering stares at her phone, the text message to Chase she wrote but never sent. The unsent texts. Let's pause for a moment on those unsent messages because they've become the emotional heartbeat of this storyline. In a sequence that broke viewers' hearts, Brook Lynn was seen typing and deleting the same text over and over. "I miss you. Sorry, I'm scared." She stared at the screen, her thumb hovering over send, and then she hit delete. It was a masterclass in emotional restraint, acted with painful subtlety by Amanda Setton, whose portrayal has earned waves of fan support. That one scene captured what many fear and love, saying the wrong thing too soon, or saying nothing until it's too late. A Chase on the beat, solving crimes, hiding pain. Meanwhile, Chase has returned full force to the Port Charles Police Department, immersing himself in cases to numb the ache. His current investigation, a string of tech thefts linked to Sonny's criminal rivals, but even in the thick of danger, his heart remains with Brook Lynn. He's been avoiding the Quartermain mansion, dodging Deception launches, and even skipped karaoke night at the Savoy, an event he never missed when they were happy. When Dante finally cornered him and asked what's going on, Chase simply said, "Sometimes love means stepping back, not stepping up." Music and Memories, the song that says it all. One of the most emotional callbacks came when Chase visited the piano in the hospital's break room, a place where he and Brook Lynn once harmonized, laughed, and dreamed. He began playing the melody they wrote together, a soft ballad that fans still remember from their early days. It was raw, beautiful, and unfinished, much like them. "I wanted it to be our wedding song someday," he whispered, alone. That scene, flooded with flashbacks of happier times, sent viewers into emotional overdrive. The pain of a love, paused, not ended, resonated deeply. An unexpected complication, a new suitor. Just when fans thought things couldn't get more complicated, Blaze's manager Zane Riggs entered the scene. A slick industry player with an eye for talent, and apparently an eye for Brook Lynn. Zane began flirting during a meeting at the Metro Court. Brook Lynn laughed, politely, but Chase, sitting at the bar nearby, saw everything. His jaw clenched, his heart. The jealousy wasn't about possession. It was about fear. Fear that time would eventually become too late. Lois's intervention, a mother knows best. Sensing her daughter's emotional spiral, Lois orchestrated a quiet meeting between Brook Lynn and Chase at the Quartermain stables, a place full of childhood memories and clarity. There, among the hay bales and echoes of simpler times, Brook Lynn finally broke down. I never meant to push you away. I'm terrified of not being enough for you. You deserve someone who's ready. I don't even know who that is right now. Chase stepped closer, his expression soft. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be honest. And if you need time, I'll give it. I just needed to know that you still want us. Brook Lynn nodded, tears streaming down her face. I do, I always have. They didn't kiss, they didn't declare forever, but in that moment, something deeper happened. They reconnected. What comes next? Soap insiders suggest that this isn't the end of the Brook Lynn Chase saga, but a new chapter. Here's what could be on the horizon. Brook Lynn considers therapy, hoping to break patterns of sabotage and fear. Chase gets pulled into a dangerous case, putting his life at risk, and forcing Brook Lynn to reevaluate her priorities. A musical storyline involving Blaze and Chase could reignite their shared love of music. A possible engagement tease in sweep season if Brook Lynn decides she's ready. Executive producer Frank Valentini teased in a recent interview, Chase and Brook Lynn are soulmates, but soulmates don't always have it easy. Their journey isn't over, it's evolving. Final thoughts, a love worth fighting for. In a soap opera full of over-the-top drama and sudden twists, the relationship between Harrison Chase and Brook Lynn Quartermain has remained refreshingly real. Their current pause isn't a betrayal. It's a recognition of how hard real love can be when life, trauma, and personal growth get in the way. Chase is doing the brave thing, stepping back with love, not out of anger. Brook Lynn is doing the hard thing, learning who she is, not just who others want her to be. And in that quiet, painful space in between, that's where true love either crumbles or grows. For fans, all we can do now is wait, just like they are, and hope that when the time is right, Brook Lynn presses send.